Well, I don't know. I don't know really what's happening. The world seems to be, there seems to be a lot changing at the moment, and the news and all these arrests happening and exciting times. Uh, just checking my audio. Yeah, I photoshopped this board earlier, and I was trying to find the best cleaning stuff to remove the paper residue, and I think Windowlean's better, and I think you call it Windex. So I basically tried invisible windows, which isn't that good. I tried the white vinegar spray, which is Star Drops, and that wasn't that good. But the Windowlean, which I think you call Windex, seems to work best actually. It just seems to get rid of the paper residue a lot better than the others. I've actually got 3 different window cleaners. I've been a few days ago and bought 3 bottles of well, I didn't buy them all at once, but I've basically the last few weeks I've been buying these window cleaning solutions, different types, different brands, because I wanted to find out which is the best to clean my inkjet as well. Because apparently some of these brands can actually dissolve ink, and that's the reason why I bought these different bottles. But it's also useful to find out which one's best for the you see, here's some ink, right, that's been printed on a piece of paper, right? Not printed, sorry, mopped up on a piece of paper, and this is this is the ink that's used in my inkjet printer. And I was curious to see which spray. Now I'll just show you what I mean. Hang on. I did a test. Let me just get a sheet. I did the let's find it. Well, I can use this. I did a spray test with these. This is what I printed out on my inkjet. The way I do this test is you get a piece of paper with ink on, different colours, or whatever, or the same colour, whatever, and you spray a little amount on each in 3 places with the different sprays, and you tip it up and you look to see which spray has dissolved the ink the most. That's what tests I've been doing, because I've been trying to find a good spray that a liquid I could use in my ink to clean my cartridge, my ink jets. And you've got to be careful. You've got to use something that's got no dye in it. Well, the Windowlean's got some blue dye in it, but fortunately the Windowlean doesn't work too well on ink. So I didn't need to use that one. But now the invisible windows, if I get invisible windows, that's this spray, and I squirt a tiny amount on this green, right, and I get some vinegar, white vinegar, I spray some of that on there, and I get some Windowlean, I spray some of that on there. Now Windowlean, now I just tilt it up and you look to see which ink has been melted the most effectively by the sprays, right? It's obvious, you can quite clearly see that this one on this side no, actually no, Anyway, the invisible windows works the best when I do this test. Usually I have to do it vertically. I can't really do it like this because I'm doing it flat because the camera, so the camera can see it. But you basically have your paper on at an angle, and you both the drips run in a straight line down. But these have merged now, so that's no good, that test. But the test's still valid at the top, and you find out which is the best solution to melt ink, you know, to dissolve ink. And as you can see, this one's very poor. This one on the left. Yeah. No, I was just showing you about how to dissolve ink, you know, and you can see at the back how much of the ink has been pushed through the paper. Yeah, I'm going to be redoing this PCB. So I've been finding out the best liquids for dissolving ink, and also I'm using the same process at the moment to find out the best liquid to remove the paper residue. And from what I found out, invisible windows is best for dissolving ink, and Windoline seems to be best for dissolving the paper residue. So, but I'm going to be doing this again because this board it's not perfect. There's some problems. I went and melted some of the tracks with the acetone. I went and squirted some of my isopropyl alcohol and a small percentage of acetone onto the paper to see if I could loosen that paper residue up. And I went and put too much on the edges, and it melted the tracks down here. Look, I don't know if you can see that. Hang on. This light is really bright and it's hard to get it on the camera, but let me just try and get it on. I went and melted the track. Where are we? There, that's better. You can see that the track on that edge of the board, it got melted. And I melted some of the other tracks with the acetone as well. They got a bit raggy looking and horrible, and so on the other side that side got melted a bit as well. So I'm gonna redo it. I've got another printout ready. I've got another printout here ready. So I'm just gonna do this other one. I'm gonna wipe this lot off, start again, because I don't mind. I just want to get it right. Anyway, I'm gonna get acetone on here, and I'm gonna wipe all this lot off and start again, because I'm not very happy with it. But at least I've got a better. Well, yeah, I put too much acetone in the isopropyl alcohol. Yeah. Well, you just watch what happens. You watch what happens when I put acetone on here. You just watch this. You'll see what I mean. I'm just going to put some acetone on this tissue paper. You watch this. Watch this. Are you watching? Watch closely. Look at that. Toner comes straight off. This is what acetone does to toner. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to do it again. this is how acetone removes it really well, actually. Yeah, it does. Actually, I need to put, when you spray it on, when you put it on with my syringe, acetone takes the toner off even faster. It makes a pool, but I didn't want to run it all over the place, you know. This is just tissue paper. Yeah, it's extremely effective at getting rid of toner off your board. Now, as I say, I'm gonna redo this board because I wasn't happy with it, and it stinks pretty bad, actually. Yeah, that's the toner. It's pretty much all gone, and Z's having trouble getting on. He installed. He went to install flash, I think. He went to install flash, and he had to reboot. I just don't know why it's so quiet lately. It's been absolutely dead. This board has already been rubbed up with some emery paper and washed and cleaned and scrubbed, and so basically all I'm doing now is just removing that toner so I can start again. So I don't really need to roughen it up anymore. It's already roughened up enough. I just need to get rid of all this toner. I mean all this previous toner. Alright, there we go. I think I've got it back to normal. So I think I'm ready now to put the I'm just going to, actually this tissue paper is really reeking. I'm just going to get a clean bit on there, go over it again. Right, I think I've got that as clean as I'm going to get it. So, I'm going to get my piece of fresh pattern. I'm going to just blow it to make sure there's no bits of paper on there. I can actually see some little bits of dust on there. So I need to get my other brush. I'm just brushing any bits of paper off that I can see. Right. I think that's got it. There's a bit over here, it's been awkward. Flipping power. My computer is going to sleep. Hang on a minute. Right. Now I've got this cleaned up. Make sure my paper's clean as well. Yeah. I'm going to start again. This time I'm not going to put I ain't going to spray it with any of that acetone isopropyl alcohol. This time I'm just going to use that window cleaner when I want to loosen it. But I want to try and reuse these bits of tape again. I've got to get this board lined up. I need my other glasses, I can't see very well with these on. Where's Z gone again? He came in, just disappeared again. Right. I'm just reusing my tape. I don't want to waste it because it's I'm running out. It's one thing I'm a bit low on is this stuff, this Captain tape. Right. I hope I've got that lined up properly. Yeah, it's good enough. This board isn't very good. This board isn't perfectly square. So I've got to laminate this again. Oh wow, this board isn't. I think it's the paper that's cockeyed actually. I think I've got that more or less. That's good enough, I think. Yeah, we do. So I'm trying to do really. Just, I'm not really. To be honest, this board is the power supply doubler thing. I'm not planning on building it anytime soon, but I was just getting bored silly, waiting for this money coming through, so I thought, oh bugger it, I need to do something to keep my mind occupied, because I've been watching videos all week, and there's only so much videos I can watch before my brain starts to bubble over with frustration. I just need to be doing something. Yeah. If I'm not creating something, I feel like a useless piece of garbage, whatever, yeah. I feel like, what the hell am I doing here? Why are we here, Schubert says. Why are we here? Right, I'll get the laminator out because I've got to get this redone again. This is going to be another 30 minutes of total boredom, I'm afraid, because the laminator really is no fun. But at least it makes life easy. It saves all that trial and error and messy and wasted effort when you're using an iron, because an electric iron is not very effective. I mean, you can spend 20 minutes or something like that with an electric iron trying to cover every square millimetre, pushing down on it. I'll tell you what happened to me once with electric iron, right? When I was doing the lamination, when I was trying to transfer the toner across to a circuit board, I got the electric iron too hot, and my copper just went pop. It just burst off the board, because the copper was too hot. It expanded, and the glue melted. The bonding material that was holding the copper onto the actual circuit board, it just popped off the board, and that was a complete disaster. So with an electric iron, you've got the problem of getting the temperature just right. If you get it too hot, your copper can just bulge, and there was a big pocket of air gas that pushed the copper off the board, and I couldn't get it back because it had expanded, you see, that the copper had stretched, and I couldn't get it back on the board, and it was a wasted circuit board. So I thought, well, electric irons are not for me. I've tried different settings. I've tried it on the silk setting, I've tried it on the wool setting. I just had very erratic results, and at least with the laminator it's 100% predictable. I know that if I keep feeding this into the laminator for about 30 minutes, I'm going to get good results. Oh, would help if I put the heat on. It was on cold. I've got to wait for that green light now. I've got to wait for that green light to come on. So I'll turn my light off for a bit, actually, because I'm saving my solar battery. I run it down before, and I had to actually balance charge it to. I had to balance charge it to equalise the cells on my solar battery. So there's nothing. Oh, the camera's adjusted itself. Sorry, it's probably going to look grainy because it's adjusted the brightness. At least you can see the red light. The red LED. I'm just going to wait for the green light to come on. That's weird. You can actually see the green light from the camera shining down. The green LED off the camera now. Right, one thermostat's just clicked. Wait for the second one to click. Well, I suppose I could feed it in now, but it won't be properly ready until like the other green one comes on. I suppose I can start feeding it in. It'll start to warm up slowly anyway. So what time is it? There we go, got the green light now. Well, according to my clock, we're about 22, so 30 minutes from now. We should have it done. I can go sideways. Hopefully it won't jam on me. It'll heat it up faster sideways because it's covering, the rollers are long and it's covering more of the board sideways, but it jams on me sometimes. Put the light back on again. See if I can get this a bit higher actually, if I can. I can't see the monitor now. I think if I go slightly to an angle it doesn't jam as easy. So starting to get nice and hot now. So basically 10 past we should be done. Kind of boring this part. I like the way it pops out, it makes you kind of like it wants to escape. Try and move it forward a bit if I can. It's really hot now. Flipping light, stop blinking on me. The light's flickering on me, it's just bad connections on it. It's got them extendable, it uses two antennas actually, as the DC 12 volts goes up through those. Oh, it's really hot now. after about 10-15 minutes I can take the tape off. Get more even pressure. Because the rollers press down more over the tape, you see, and you can end up with little bits on the edges that aren't pressed down properly. So, once it's pretty well stuck to the board, I can take the tape off. I think the next time round I'll start to take some tape off, I think, and keep going. That's getting really hot now. Right, that's one piece of tape off. I just want even pressure on it. Take this little one off. Comes off really easy when it's hot, you know. The heat just makes it come off quite easy. all the tapes off now. I figured it out that having the tape on all the time can cause uneven pressure. Right. It's definitely stuck to the board now. If this laminator had a mind, it would be asking for a pay rise. For doing this extra work. Yeah, good idea. I wish I could go make coffee right now. But I can't leave this for 10. It'll get cold. Well, I've still got some coffee actually. It's going cold in my cup. What am I talking about? It's already bloody cold in my cup. Yeah. I'll have to go and make some more coffee in a bit. Well, I've got another 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go for this. Oops, stuck again. Ah. Sometimes it just seems to hit a bad cog and slips. I don't know why. Oh, 10 more minutes. Well, 5 more minutes of full heat and 5 minutes with the heat off, and it'll slowly cool a bit, because it'll be just too hot to handle. And I just like to keep it between the rollers as it slowly cools down a bit to ensure that the transfers are on the copper. You know, I was just worried that if it cools down outside the machine, that the toner might still be moist or soft and actually pull away from the copper as the paper shrinks, so, or expands, whatever. So that's why I keep going for 5 minutes with the heat off, just to make sure. Again. We're stuck again. That's hot. When it's burning my fingers like that, I know it's ready. Just about. think I'll just stick with the end waste for now. I really need to mark that board. When I put the silk screen on, I want to use a very straight edge for that end. So this board isn't perfectly square, you see, and I know that this edge is dead straight, so I'm going to mark that with this pen. Right, I'll turn the heat off now, and we'll keep going while it cools a bit for 5 minutes. You know, 30 minutes seems like a long time to do this, but I found out that I get intermittent kind of results at 20 minutes. 30 minutes is guaranteed good results, you know. As long as I don't mess it up afterwards. I can feel it starting to cool a bit now. Well, when I say cool, it's still bloody hot, but it's not as hot as it was. Ugh. Right, 2 more minutes, I think. Oops. Uh, oh, God. I hate it when it does that. It's eating my teeth away. This rate I'm going to need another laminator. I hope not. It should be cooling down because I've turned the heat off. Well, anyway, that's it. 30 minutes. So I'm going to let that cool a bit. Turn this off. Unplug it. I'm going to go and make a cup of coffee, and I'm going to spray that with Windoline when I come back. Actually, no, I'll do it now, because when it's really hot and dry, this stuff soaks in better. This Windoline won't melt the toner, so I'm going to spray it with Windoline, right, which should melt that paper better. Right, then I'm going to go and get a hot cup of coffee and some water, hot water, and I'll stick that. I'm pretty sure, oh, I can smell that. I'm pretty sure that's going to make it release a lot better. I've already tested the Windoline, so I know it won't damage the toner. This water's cold, so I need to boil some more. In fact, I might not even need any hot water, because this was hot when I sprayed it on. It might actually lift off. I'll see when I come back. Just waiting for kettle. I'm in high hopes that this is going to be a lot better. Right. I can almost see through that. Now I've got boiling water in here, so I'm going to lift this board up with this piece of steel. Actually, I was my nail file. I don't want to force the paper off until it's ready. I'm just going to dunk it in the hot water, and without scalding myself, because this is boiling water. God, that's hot. Right, I want to lower it in gently. Right, so let's let that soak. Move the camera a bit. Oops. Right, fingers crossed that the Windoline will make that paper release without all that horrible paper residue. Well, that's what I'm hoping for anyway. God, it's absolutely freezing in the kitchen, I tell you. My grandma used to call her kitchen, what was it? She used to call it a kitchen, she used to call it something else. It's a funny thing how we call things by different names. I think they call it a scullery or something. I have no idea why. Something like that. I never understood that. Actually, I need to do some research online, find out why. I'm gonna find out, because I always wondered about that. Why do people call it that? Why on earth did they call it a scullery and not a kitchen? The mind boggles. My grandma, oh, she, bless her little heart, she passed away a long time ago, but it often pops back into my head, things like that. And while I'm waiting for this to soak, I'm just gonna find out what it really means. A scullery is a room in a house traditionally used for washing up dishes and laundering clothes. Ah, right, that's why. Or as an overflow kitchen, when the main kitchen is overloaded. Tasks performed in the scullery include cleaning dishes and cooking utensils or storing them. Occasional kitchen work, ironing, boiling water for cooking or bathing, and soaking or washing clothes. Sculleries contain hot and cold sinks, sometimes slop sinks, drain pipes, storage shelves, plate racks. Well, to me that sounds like a kitchen. A work table, various coppers for boiling water, tubs and buckets. Wow. It's absolutely amazing some of the things that you forget about when you get older, and a lot of these old traditional names for places and fascinating. Yeah, well, I gathered that. It says here the term scullery has fallen into disuse. In North America, the room being more commonly referred to as a utility room, or laundry room. The term continues to use in its original sense in Britain and Ireland, or as an alternative term for kitchen in some regions of Britain, typically Northern Ireland, North East England and Scotland. Yeah, I do hear people still referring to it like that, so that's why I was wondering why people call it a scullery and not a kitchen. Well, so technically there is absolutely no difference at all between a scullery and a kitchen, but for some reason some people just still keep that. It's a very old name, very old name by the sounds of it. So it says here the scullery was a back kitchen located adjacent to the main kitchen. Frequently to the rear of the house, nearest the water supply, such as a public fountain or a well. Anyway, I found out why. I don't need to read any more of that. I want to get back on with this board. Right, so I'll get my tweezers again and my little brush. I want to see what. I tell you what, this paper looks a different colour this time because of that. Let's check the corner. You know what? It's actually better than before. Let's just see if I can lift this paper up. Well, it's actually lifting off without. It's a lot quicker this time by the looks of it because of that soak with the windowing. Can I get more paper off in one piece though? That's the question. I don't know. It still tears, but I am very impressed with that. I can tell almost straight away that this paper is much more softer because of the pre-treatment with that windowing. and I didn't ruin it by spraying isopropyl alcohol and acetone on it. It still wants a bit more of a soak though, I think, because it's not, oh, it's rolling but not too easily. I'll see if I can get most of this paper. I'll roll that paper into this tray because I don't want to mess up the water too much. Oh, it still wants soaking more. It's not ready yet. It still feels kind of dry. Well, what I'll do is while it's in the water, I'll just give it a gentle rub. Soaking a bit longer. Anyway, I wonder where Z went. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, well, sometimes you've got to do it the hard way using ordinary photo paper because sometimes that's all you've got, and I'm just trying to perfect a way, because I found online there's a lot of people have said that they can't use the photo transfer paper because some people have had trouble where the toner doesn't even stick properly to the waxy paper, the proper photo transfer paper. A few people complained that they've had situations where the toner has got stuck to the rollers in the printer. Now that can be messy because I've had that problem myself where some of the paper's jammed and there's a lot of toner left, and you see traces of it on your paper on the other side, and it gets on the rollers. And if it doesn't stick properly to the paper, it can really mess up your laser printer. Whereas photo paper is actually more well, it's just there's less likelihood of something going wrong and it's getting stuck to the rollers really. But the photo transfer paper has caused a few people some problems, and I've been reading some articles on the internet about that. I did a search a few weeks back, and a few people commenting that they don't like using the photo transfer paper because of problems with their particular printer. So yeah, it's still worthwhile perfecting other ways of doing it. Well, let's see if I can get this, start rolling this paper off. Must have soaked enough now. Oh yeah, it feels a lot better. It's very hot though. I don't want to roll all that paper into the water because it makes such a mess. And I'll just put some of it on there. It's definitely softening up now. It's got that bluish tinge though from the windoline. Oh, it's definitely coming off. in there. Hang on, let me get rid of this paper here. So I'm doing some of this off camera so I don't get it all in my water. I'm trying to avoid clouding my water up too much. It gets so cloudy I can't see through it. And you know what? I have a feeling that this is going to be a lot better result. Already the paper between the tracks is coming off more easily. I can see it coming off. Oh, it's much better. I'm just rubbing it with a brush and I can already see that the tracks in between the tracks, it's a lot easier to come off. That soak with that windowline was a good idea. And this track hasn't melted this time. Good. I'll let it soak a bit more. I need my rubber to hold this in place because it keeps moving about. It's definitely better. I can see it's better. I can see under the magnifying glass that there's a lot less of that paper residue. Yay, it's working, see. Oh, I can feel it. It's the part where I didn't rub it with a brush. It's just coming off easy. I could even read the writing, the small writing, without too much effort. Oh, that's so much better. It's coming off much easier. Flash sucks, it really does. They've messed it up so much, all these updates and bloody... A flash player seems to be dying. Yeah, soaking it has got this paper just melting. Oh, Z's not having a good day. Of course I won't be able to tell properly until I dry the board, but I can just sense that, well, I've got a feel that this paper is just, it's not clinging on like it was before. Oh, you can see for yourself. You see for yourself, it's looking better. Of course it didn't melt the toner with that acetone as well, so that helps. Put the glasses back on, I think. Let's see. I'll probably take a photocopy of it off the scanner actually once I've got this. Before I etch it, I'm not etching it yet. I'm not in a hurry. Like I said, I'm going to be building this for a while anyway because I haven't got all the components. But let's just try this off and see what it looks like. Yeah, there is some paper residue, but it's not as bad as it was. That's for sure. I mean, this looks 100 times better than it was before, right? There's a lot less paper stuck between the tracks. There's a little bit, but there's not much, nothing that I can't remove with my little brush. But I dare say a little bit more Windex on, Windoline on there. Should sort the rest of it out. He's having a lot of trouble. Right, I'm going to spray some more Windoline. There's some small traces of paper, not much. I'm just going to put a bit more on here. Just concentrated, and because this time I won't be dealing with that wax because I went and put some of that wax on, didn't I? So let's just go around it with just some raw Windoline now and see how this works out. I'm trying to keep it level so I don't spill the Windoline off the board. Right, that's actually, I can actually see a difference just by spraying it on the board. It's so much better. That paper's almost lifting off by itself, just about. Just needs a little bit of agitating with the brush. Right, let's just rinse this off. Yeah, that's really good, I think. I haven't got any damaged tracks. Actually, there's a very thin track somewhere. Where is it? Let's spot it. Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Right, how good is that? Wow! That really thin track, that is perfect. Wow, that is amazing. Just a tiny bit of paper on there. Right, you know yourself, if I photocopy this after I've etched it, it never comes out, so it never shows up very well because of the shininess of the copper. So I am going to photo scan this in a minute. I'm going to change my water because my water's kind of murky now. So I'm just going to go rinse this off. I'll be back in a minute. Oh. Right. Has he got his thing sorted out yet? Oh, it's 18. Test SOAB. What's that mean? Son of a bit. Oh God. Right, I need some more tissue because this is all wet. Right, I've put fresh water in here. Let's get some more tissue paper. Right, fresh water. The circuit board, I've rinsed it out in fresh clean water, and as you can see, it absolutely looks brilliant. I haven't dried it off though. When we dry it, that's when we see the paper residues normally. So I'm just going to dry it off with this other bit of wet towel, then I'll use some dry towel. I've got to dry it thoroughly in between the tracks properly, and also remove any remaining paper that might, just by rubbing it gently. So if this Windoline is going to be the magic substance to clean, to pre-soak the board before I put it in boiling water, then I found my answer. And it doesn't seem to, it seems to remove a lot more paper residue than that other stuff. It's done a really good job actually. I haven't even waxed the damn thing yet. I normally wax it to bring the contrast back, you know, the blackness. And I haven't even polished it or anything, and it's looking better. Right, let me just get some. Let me just put this on a bit of paper towel. Let me have a look. Oh, there is some bits of white still between those pins on that IC, but it's a lot better than it was before. It's still drying out a bit. I can actually use some of the other tissue that's over there, and definitely looks a lot better. There's some tiny little specks that's left. There's some tiny specks left, but most of it has come up really much better, hasn't it, than that last time. Remember last time I cleaned it with three different liquids before I got it to this stage. Let's just try the dry cotton bud thing. There's nothing on this cotton bud, it's just dry. There's still a bit of paper down here. Okay, right, it needs a bit more Windoline. I'm just going to squirt it on my cotton bud. Just going to go around those areas. Yeah. Yeah, bear in mind I'm not pressing hard. This cottonwood is starting to dry out. You can see it's gone kind of a purplish colour. That's the paper that's coming off. It's kind of it's some kind of, I don't know what it is really. It's some kind of gluey stuff that they must use to bond the gloss surface on the paper. It certainly beats going over it all with a pin, you know, picking out the holes. And I don't think I'll need to do that because it's a lot better than it was. Because remember the previous board I did, I had to use my compass and pick out all the individual holes to get the paper out. Well, I'm not having to do that this time, which is a huge godsend because it means I don't have to do it all under the magnifying glass, and it's a lot easier to do it this way. I think now what I'll do is I'll just get my other little piece of tissue, and I think I'll go over it with this I'll just spray a bit more of this Windeline stuff on this paper, and then I'll just go over it with this. Because that cottonwood is good, but it doesn't cover a very big area. At once. I'm going to put this back in the water and let it and rinse it off, and then dry it. It is very sticky, is this Windeline. Right, let's soak this again in water. Rinse it off. it feels a lot better. It doesn't feel like papery to the feel. It feels plasticky to touch now, which is what it should do. It's got a silky feeling to it, and instead of before it was all papery feeling, you know. My fingers want rinsing as well. Right, I'm gonna dry this off. With some fresh towel. Wow, I am not seeing any paper. Oh, it's starting to dry. It's actually drying a bit more. I am seeing a little bit shining through the large black areas. That's fine though, I'm not worried about that, but it's looking a lot better than it did, I tell you. I haven't even put any polish on it or anything. Right, there is some very tiny little bits of paper left. It's negligible, the bubble. I can't even say the word. Hang on. Yeah, there's a tiny bit between that pad and the ground, but not much. Probably because I probably missed that spot when I was rubbing it with this. Let's just go around that again. There's a bit there, just a speck. It's right in the corners that I've missed. Right on them little, where the corners are. Call it human error. Where I haven't been. I prefer this than using that flipping compass, I tell you. I'm going to have to rinse that again. I am going to be using that Windoline on the silk screen as well. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a lot better. Right. I need some more tissue again. That is looking a lot better now. That light is so bright. I'll just cover the lighter with my hand a bit. Oh, that's a bit too much, I think. Oh, that's better. Anyway, I'll stick it in the scanner. Right, and then we can scrutinize it zoomed in. Right, okay. I'm not seeing any paper. Oh, is there a bit there? No, that's just dust. Oh. Right, I'll stick it in the scanner. I'll have to go on 2D mix in a minute and get my what do you call it? Paint program up. Right, just a minute. Trying to get this board square. Oh, it keeps spinning around on me. Oh, stupid. Right. I don't know why that board wants to spin around on my scanner bed, but it's like it's riding on a crumb or something. Well, there probably is a crumb or something on the bloody photo bed, scanner bed. So if we get some muck on the scanner, we'll know what it is. It certainly beats having to use the magnifying glass doing it this way. Oh, my hands are so dry with all that soap. Ugh. I don't believe it. I've had enough of that water tonight, I tell you. Right, let's get this blown up and have a look. This is before etching, by the way. I'm not sure if I'm going to be etching this tonight anyway, because I'm tired. I'll go up to high resolution. 300 by 300 dots per inch should be good enough. Right, let's find out. Now we get to really scrutinise this. It's actually upside down. Let me just rotate it. Rotate 180 degrees. Right. Now there's the writing at the bottom, the small writing. Look at that. There's no paper residue in there at all. I need a higher resolution than this actually. Just a minute. It's very blurry. Let's just go a bit higher. But I didn't pick out any holes at all. Right, well, let's go up to 600 by 600. Just a minute, a pre-scan again. I don't want to do a full A4 thing, it'll take forever. Alright. Oh, tired. Right. Okay, this should be a lot better resolution. Right, let's get rid of that. I'll have to rotate this again. And rotate. Right. I can't pick any faults with that so far. Bloody hell. Of course, you can see the scoring on the copper where I sanded it with emery paper. But once I've etched it, and I'll polish all that out anyway. In fact, some of the scoring even shows through the toner. You can actually see it through the toner. That's how well bonded it is to the copper. It's really well squeezed on there. This is the track I had problems before. On the first attempt, this track I melted it, but on this one, the second I go around, it's perfect. I can't fault that. We're actually at pretty high resolution. We're zoomed into what are we zoomed in at? Well, we're in 2574 by 1878. This file is nearly 14 megabytes, so high resolution. Yeah, there's a bit of dust on the scanner bed right there. Right there. That's just a bit of dust on the scanner, I think. But I can't fault that so far. Now, that line that goes around the border, that's about 0.1 millimeter, I think. That thin line. And I think the actual text is about 0.2 millimeters, I think. You know, the lettering, that's how thick it is. Where's that really thin track? Now, this is the thinnest circuit track on the board. And I also put a jumper across there if I wanted one, but it goes between those two pins of the IC. That's an IC socket. IC goes there, right? Our track goes right between those legs. And you can see it's not damaged, it's perfect, it's not it's as good as the printer could do it anyway. In fact, I'm losing resolution there. I mean, I'm really magnified in right now. Those holes are actually, I think they're point. I think they're maybe 0.5 millimeter. Those holes in the IC. So those holes are literally 0.5 millimeter. Oh, I think it's less than 0.5 millimeter. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I haven't seen any paper trails so far. Oh my god, look at that hole. It's perfectly clean. No paper in it at all. In fact, they're all clear. You can even see that pad because it's surrounded by a ground plane, and there might be a little bit of paper in there, but I'm not worried about that one. So that pin there is ground. Is that a hole? I think it is. That hole looks like it's got a little bit of. I don't know if that hole's meant to be there. I don't know. I might have caught that with my fingernail. Let me see what goes there. There's a transistor on the edge of the board. Yeah, that hole's not. I think I caught that with my finger or something. Right, right here. It's not. This particular hole is not meant to be there. I must have caught it. Oh well, I'll know it's there now and I can fill it with a bit of that ink stuff. Oh, there's another one. A tiny speck. Mind you, I'm magnified. No, that's paper residue there. Tiny speck of paper residue right there. I always managed to cling on somewhere. But I'm not complaining. Yeah, that's come out really good. Well, live stream's been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes, so I'm probably going to end the stream soon. I'm not going to etch it tonight because I've been awake for 20 hours. Holy crap. Yeah, since the computer was turned on, I've been awake 20 hours, so yeah, I'm going to sleep soon. And that's where a heatsink is mounted on that rectangular box. That's where one end of the heatsink is tabbed in, and it's connected to them. It's bolted to them transistors anyway, up and down. Let's have a look at this bit. Oh, there's a tiny nick. I might have caught that with my fingernail again or something, but that's nothing. Tiny little nick in that track. That's insignificant considering these tracks are like a millimetre or something, or 2 millimetres. I think they're 1.3 millimetres maybe. It's a very small nick. Can't even see it when I zoom out. That's why I like to put it on a scanner bed because you can find the errors. You can find well, errors. Yeah, you can find mistakes. Well, not mistakes, but flaws. I should say flaws in either the print or in the lamination process or whatever. But I'm not complaining about that. This board is definitely worth etching, but I'm not doing that tonight. I'm not even. I've got to laminate it as well. I mean, I've got to silk screen it as well. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Because I went to yawns like 5 yawns a minute now, I think. I remember this board is 100 millimeters. It's 100 millimeters by is it 70? Oh, I've actually got my ruler on the paint program. Let me just see if I've got the scale right. Is it scaled properly? Oh, it's not far off. Yeah, it is. It's scaled right. There's a ruler at the top. Where it says 10, that's 100 millimeters. Right. 10, right at the top. That is 100 millimeters wide. Yep, that's right. Anyway, I'll save that. Actually, no. I'll save the lower resolution one because the file size. I'll save that as a PNG. I'm in the wrong folder. How big is that going to be? Oh God. I want to kill my stream if I don't slow down. Right, how big is that? 2.2 megabyte. Oh, that's small enough. Right, I'll stick that on the FTP. Have I gone and killed my stream yet? That's the thing. No, that's good. It's still going. Well, I'll find that one. And I'll stick the other one next to it. I've got flipping word wrap on again. Right, that should be right. And there's the link to it. Right, I need to quit the stream in a minute, I think.